Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India. I'm Gautam Roy. This is Express News, where we bring you the day's top 100 developments from the country and the world in under 30 minutes. Here goes. President Draupadi Murmu paid floral tributes to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The occasion marks Netaji's birth anniversary, observed nationwide as Parakram Divas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated, laid foundation stones and flagged off multiple development projects in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. The projects flagged off by Prime Minister Modi in Kerala on Friday cover rail connectivity, urban livelihoods, science and innovation. The initiatives highlight the government's focus on inclusive growth and technology-driven development. Further, during the visit, Prime Minister Modi also launched the PM Swanidhi credit card to strengthen urban livelihoods in Kerala. PM Swanidhi loans were disbursed to 1 lakh or 100,000 beneficiaries, including street vendors from Kerala. Prime Minister Swanidhi scheme enables first-time access to formal credit for a large number of beneficiaries and played a key role in poverty alleviation and livelihood security among urban informal workers. While addressing the event, Prime Minister Modi highlighted the boost to rail connectivity in Kerala and major investments in science and innovation and healthcare. The PM also emphasized that the government is making significant investments in healthcare, pointing at the inauguration of the CSR Innovation Hub in Kerala and the launch of a radio surgery centre. Let's now turn attention to India's progressive pitch at the World Economic Forum in Davos. The country pushed hard for more renewable energy investments guided by the idea of one Earth, one family, one future. This vision underlines India's call for joint action on green growth. India has also underlined solutions to tackle global challenges. Overall, Davos 2026 has boosted India's image as a leader in energy shifts and investments. As deals flow in, the country steps up its role in a world seeking balance. The conference is ending this evening. Also at Davos, India pitched for a 300 to 350 billion US dollars in clean energy investment and the opportunity there for global investors. Renewable Energy Minister Prahlad Joshi highlighted policy stability, falling tariffs and 367 gigawatts non-fossil capacity, positioning India as a future-ready green energy hub. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said India is among the countries with a comparative advantage in artificial intelligence. The IMF Managing Director further noted that India stands out among emerging economies due to its long-standing investment in information technology. With India's Republic Day approaching, Air Commodore Manish Sabarwal announced on Friday that the S-400 air defense system, credited with downing a Pakistani asset at the world's longest range, will feature for the very first time on the Department of Military Affairs tableau. The Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry is participating in Gulf Food 2026 in Dubai. India is the partner country at Gulf Food 2026 for the first time. In business, Indian equity indices ended on a weak note on Friday. At close, the BSE Sensex was down 769.67 points to close at 81,537.70. The 30-stock Nifty was also down to 41.25 points to close at 25,048.65. The Indian rupee also ended at a record low of 91.96 per US dollar on Friday versus Thursday's close of 91.62. Global oil prices climbed as escalating West Asia tensions and Russian refinery attacks offset ample supply concerns, with the Brent nearing $78 per barrel. Global gold prices surged to a fresh all-time high above 4,960 per ounce on Friday, driven by persistent geopolitical risks, a weaker dollar, and strong safe haven demand. Similarly, global silver prices soared to a new all-time high, approaching $99 per ounce on Friday, fueled by safe haven buying, industrial demand, and a weaker dollar amid ongoing geopolitical tensions. U.S. stocks rose for a second straight day as eased Greenland tariff fears lifted sentiment, with the Dow gaining 0.63% to 49,384, S&P 500 up 0.55% and Nasdaq advancing 0.91%. Asian markets also extended their recovery on Friday, with Japan's Nikkei 225 rising 0.34% to 53,869 amid Bank of Japan rate stability, while Hang Seng gained 0.33% and Kospi climbed 0.58%. European stocks also advanced as reduced Greenland tariff concerns boosted sentiment, with DAX climbing 1.20% to 24,856, CAC 40 up 0.99% and FTSE 100 gaining 0.12%. Cryptocurrency markets traded mixed on Friday, with Bitcoin steady around $89,500 after dipping below $90,000 amid fading tariff relief and profit-taking pressures. Ukrainian, US and Russian officials will be holding security talks in the United Arab Emirates on Friday, following a meeting of top US negotiators with Russian Presidents Vladimir Putin and Moscow on a US-drafted plan to end the Ukraine war. Diplomatic efforts to end Europe's conflict since the Second World War, its largest conflict since Second World War, have intensified, with trilateral talks set for Abu Dhabi on Friday. Yet Moscow and Kyiv remain deeply divided over territory in any post-war settlement. US negotiators led by Envoy Steve Witkoff talked with the Russian leaders in Moscow into the early hours of Friday, according to a Kremlin statement. Kremlin diplomatic advisor Yuri Ushakov told reporters their discussions had been useful in every aspect. Witkoff and the US team are next flying to Abu Dhabi, where talks are expected to continue in a trilateral format. The Kremlin on Friday repeated its demand that Kyiv must withdraw its forces from the eastern Donbas region for the war to end, showing it had not dropped its demand ahead of trilateral talks with the US and Ukraine in Abu Dhabi. Showing optimism, US President Donald Trump has said both Russian President Putin and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky would like to make a deal to end the conflict. Trump withdrew an invitation for Canada to join his Board of Peace initiative aimed at resolving global conflicts. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney rebuked President Trump's Davos assertion that Canada lives because of the US, saying that Canada doesn't live because of the US, it thrives because of Canadians. Meanwhile, Trump has said that a US naval armada is heading towards the Gulf, maintaining pressure on Iran. Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Ground Forces Commander General Mahmoud Pakpour has warned Israel and the United States to avoid miscalculations, urging them to learn from the 12-day imposed war to prevent a more painful fate. A drone attack triggered a fire at an oil depot in Russia's Penza region early Friday. Russia's defense ministry said air defenses downed at least 12 Ukrainian drones overnight, one over Penza. The United Nations Human Rights Council is set to convene a special session in Geneva on Friday to discuss the worsening human rights situation in Iran, following a request by Iceland, Germany, North Macedonia, Moldova and the UK. European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen has announced plans for a major increase in the European Union's investments in Greenland aimed at supporting the island's economy, infrastructure and security. Speaking at a press conference, von der Leyen said EU nations have collectively underinvested in the Arctic and its security. Meanwhile, Trump emphasized that the United States would work with NATO on Greenland security. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen held a press conference in Nuuk on Thursday, declaring that sovereignty and territorial integrity are red lines that must not be crossed. US House of Representatives Republicans narrowly defeated a resolution on Thursday which would have barred President Trump from further military action in Venezuela without the authorization of the Congress. Donald Trump said on Thursday that US oil companies will soon start drilling for oil in Venezuela even as companies express concern about the viability of quickly returning to that country. TikTok's owner ByteDance has finalized a deal to establish a majority American-owned joint venture. The move seeks to avert a US ban on the app used by over 200 million Americans. The United States has officially withdrawn from the World Health Organization, ending its membership after months of warnings that the move could harm public health at home as well as abroad. Colombia announced on Thursday it will suspend electricity sales to Ecuador and impose a 30% tariff on 20 products, intensifying a dispute over trade and drug trafficking cooperation. Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae, Japan's first woman premier, dissolved parliament Friday ahead of an 8th February snap election, banking on her cabinet's strong poll numbers. Vietnam's top leader, Tho Lam, has been unanimously re-elected as head of the ruling Communist Party for another 5-year term, cementing his hold on the country's most powerful political post. At least 67 people died in a fire that gutted Karachi's 3-story Gul Plaza on the 17th of this month, with the cause still under investigation. Bangladesh's election campaign for the 13th national parliamentary polls gained momentum on Friday, with major political parties holding rallies and outlining policy priorities across the country. Political activity has intensified nationwide ahead of the 12th of February polls. Malaysia on Friday lifted its suspension on Elon Musk's Grok chatbot after confirming the implementation of additional security and preventive measures by the platform. We're taking a quick break right now on Express News, but keep watching DD India for the remainder of this quickfire show.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's take this forward. Now, the Indian Meteorological Department has issued heavy rain alert across northern India as an active western disturbance has triggered rain, thunderstorm and hailstorm activity in several states. Widespread rainfall and snowfall has taken place across Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, for instance. Weather conditions in Himachal Pradesh also changed sharply with the western disturbance. Light to moderate rain and strong winds hit Shimla overnight, with snowfall and hailstorm activity reported in higher areas. Fresh heavy snowfall has hit Dras in Ladakh and Bhadraba in Jammu and Kashmir, affecting daily life. Authorities warn of slippery roads and advise caution in affected areas. The holy shrine of Vaishno Devi in Jammu and Kashmir also witnessed the season's first snowfall, covering the Trikuta hills in a pristine white blanket of snow. Fresh snowfall also hit Bandepora in Kashmir, disrupting normal life and traffic. Several roads have been closed as authorities work to clear the snow to ensure people's safety. Heavy snowfall in Srinagar has disrupted flight operations as well, leading to long delays. Airports and authorities are working to clear the runways as passengers face extended waiting times. Fairly widespread light to moderate rainfall has also taken place over Punjab, with scattered rain across Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi. Light rain and drizzles were reported from parts of Delhi and the National Capital Region on Friday morning amid persistent winter conditions. Temperatures in Delhi are expected to further drop over the next 24 hours. Light to moderate rain also hit parts of northern Rajasthan on Friday, with gusty winds expected in some areas. 6 people went missing after a massive landslide hit a busy campground in Mount Maunganui in New Zealand's North Island following heavy rainfall. No fatalities have been reported so far. Damage from Cyclone Harry has crossed €1 billion across southern Italy, with Sicily and Sardinia worst affected. Violent winds and storm surges have damaged ports, roads and coastal infrastructure, prompting massive Coast Guard rescue operations. Heavy snowfall has blanketed Afghanistan's capital Kabul, disrupting daily life and slowing traffic across the city. Cars and motorbikes moved cautiously on snow-covered roads as the winter storm continued. Flash floods swept mud and debris through the streets in an Athens suburb after a powerful storm battered parts of Greece. Winds crossed 100 km per hour, forcing school closures in Athens and several other regions. Flooding is still on in western France as the Leta River overflows in Quimperle, submerging low-lying areas. More than 10 residents have been evacuated and authorities warn water levels may remain high in the coming days. A massive storm could affect nearly half of the US, bringing over a foot of snow to the east coast. Freezing rain is expected from Texas to Georgia, while travel disruptions and power outages are also likely. Now, robots took center stage at Davos in Switzerland, marching through the streets during the World Economic Forum. The spectacle highlighted the growing role of technology and innovation in global diplomacy. The robot parade served as a preview of the inaugural Davos Tech Summit set to debut in early July, where advancements in robotics and digital transformation will be key themes. The Indian Air Force's renowned Sarang helicopter display team is set to enthrall audiences at the Singapore Air Show 2026, scheduled from the 3rd to the 8th of next month. The national capital is witnessing heightened security and elaborate traffic arrangements as the full dress rehearsal for the 77th Republic Day celebrations have been held along Kartavya Path and adjoining areas. Thousands of devotees thronged the Triveni Sangam Ghat in Prayagraj to take a holy dip on the occasion of Vasant Panchami. Vasant Panchami marks the arrival of spring, with devotees offering prayers to Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and wisdom, in homes, temples and educational institutions. To make pilgrimage smoother and more convenient for devotees, the Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi, India, has introduced an AI-powered chatbot named Ask Nandi. The AI chatbot Ask Nandi will answer queries and guide visitors, enhance spiritual experiences and streamline services for worshippers at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi. A predator-proof house cluster has been set up in Katarnia Ghat, Uttar Pradesh, to protect villagers from leopard and tiger attacks, marking a major step towards human-big cat coexistence. Retired NASA astronaut Sunita Williams opened the Kerala Literature Festival on Thursday, sharing space stories, views of a borderless Earth and the power of imagination. In entertainment, Japanese fashion house Issey Miyake showcased its menswear fall collection at the Paris Men's Fashion Week, introducing formless formal designs featuring oversized silhouettes, promoting a gender-neutral approach to modern menswear. American horror film Sinners leads the 2026 Oscar nominations with a record 16 nods. The film has notched up nominations for Best Picture, Best Director for Ryan Coogler, and Best Actor, emerging as the frontrunner for the awards. Brazilians are celebrating as The Secret Agent has earned a Best Picture nod at the 98th Oscars. The nomination highlights the honors and the achievements of Brazil's film industry. Masters of the Universe, starring Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man, hits India on the 5th of June. Directed by Travis Knight, the film also features Jared Leto in the role of Skeletor. American actress Sydney Sweeney will be starring and producing The Custom of the Country, based on Edith Wharton's novel. The film will be directed by Josie Rourke. Singer Harry Styles announced his 2026 global tour with extended residencies instead of single shows. Highlights include a 30-night run at New York's Madison Square Garden. K-pop band BTS has added extra tour dates in North America, Tampa on the 28th of April and Stanford on the 19th of May. Their upcoming album Arirang pre-orders have crossed 4 million. Actor Dhanush is set to team up with Amaran director Rajkumar Perasamy for his 55th film D55. Bollywood star Salman Khan has shared the teaser of a patriotic song Matrubhumi from his upcoming film Battle of Galwan. The song will release on the 24th of this month. The third Red Lorry Film Festival is all set to be held in Maharashtra's Mumbai from the 13th and the 15th of March. Over 120 films will be screened with a special focus on Marathi cinema at the festival. In sports, India is aiming for a 2-0 lead against New Zealand in the second T20 at Raipur. Suryakumar Yadav is leading a confident batting lineup after a 238-run blitz in Nagpur in the first encounter of the 5-match series. After a heavy defeat in the opener, New Zealand must fire with the ball. Captain Mitchell Santner faces a tough task against India's red-hot batters. Akshar Patel is likely to be rested to heal an injury for the second T20I. Injury has paved the way for either Kuldeep Yadav or Ravi Bishnoi in the playing 11. World number 1 Carlos Alcaraz cruised into the 4th round of the Australian Open. He beat Corentin Moutet in straight sets. Top seed Aryna Sabalenka bested Anastasia Potapova 7-6, 7-6 to reach the 4th round of the Australian Open. The defending champion saved a tense opening set after Potapova erased 3 set points. Two-time defending champion Jannik Sinner cruised past Australian wildcard James Duckworth 6-1, 6-4, 6-2 to move into the 3rd round. Naomi Osaka fought through 3 sets to defeat Sorana Cîrstea on the Margaret Court Arena. The former champion will next face Australian qualifier Madison Inglis. Taylor Fritz and Casper Ruud both advanced in straight sets at the Australian Open as well. Fritz will meet Stan Wawrinka, while Ruud has set up a clash with Marin Cilic. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has defended ticket pricing for the 2026 World Cup, revealing a record 500 million ticket requests, despite fan backlash over high costs and resale prices. Casemiro will leave Manchester United at the end of the season after the club decided not to activate his contract extension. Jadon Sancho scored his first goal for Aston Villa as they beat Fenerbahce 1-0 in Istanbul to secure a Europa League last 16 place with a game to spare. Mohamed Diomande's first half strike earned Rangers a 1-0 win over Ludogorets, giving them their first Europa League victory of the season. Barcelona have announced presidential elections will be held on the 15th of March, with current president Juan Laporta set to run against 4 declared challengers. Barcelona midfielder Pedri Gonzalez is set for a month out with a hamstring injury. The 23-year-old Spain international will miss Barcelona's final European League phase. And Sophie Devine's all-round display propelled Gujarat Giants to a 45-run victory over UP Warriors in the Women's Premier League on Thursday, snapping a 3-match losing streak. And that's all we have for the moment in this edition of Express News. For all the latest, keep watching DD India.